Hello, I'm Daniel Eade and welcome to Hoop Scoop on Gaze TV. Round 6 this week and we have a pair of games for you. The South Dragons are hosting the Cairns Taipans at Hisense Arena, but first up, the Melbourne Tigers battle it out with the Townsville Crocodiles from the State Netball and Hockey Centre in Melbourne.
The Townsville Crocodiles are coming off a 2-point win over the Sydney Spirit in their last outing. Corey Williams tearing it up on his way to 35 points on 13 of 16 from the field with 7 cherries on top. Melbourne are the only team in the league with 2 players averaging over 20 points per game, while for Townsville, the stroke of John Riley has gone into cardiac arrest, Riley averaging a career-low 6.5 points per game this season. Eade has also struggled to find his rhythm, making only 3 of 24 triples in the Tigers' 3 home games. I spoke with Townsville assistant coach Rowan Short before the game. Here's what he had to say.
Rowan, the team's off to a great start for the season, but the Melbourne Tigers, will they be your biggest scalp if you can beat them tonight?
Yeah, look, we came to Melbourne a couple of weeks ago and got the Dragons, so right there now that's our biggest scalp. But, definitely like the Tigers defending champions, it's a team that we emailed at the start of the season that whenever we play them, we have to bring our best game. So, look, if we do get them tonight, for sure, big scalp.
What's the game plan tonight?
Look, for us, they're a big team. We're an athletic small team, so we have to make sure that we take care of business on the rebounds. It's been a priority for us over the last couple of weeks, and we've got to make sure we run the ball, make sure that we push the ball down the floor and use our speed and quickness against their talls.
Coming up next, the game highlights.
Aiming to rebound from last week's shocking performance, the Melbourne Tigers opened in the best possible fashion, Rod Grizzard getting dizzy in the post for the opening basket. Rozelle Ellis put money in the Crocs account early, before Chris Anstey showed why he is the reigning MVP. A pair of mid-range jumpers from the 7-footer, capped off with a 2-inch putt to edge the Tigers ahead early. With a 3-pointer already next to his name, John Riley went into his bag of party tricks to bank home the runner, followed by a flash of brilliance from Cam Tovey to keep the Crocs snapping away. Grizzard shook the foundations of the cage, and a masterpiece of work from Eade threatened to give the home team the break they needed, backing up his long-range Trey Punte with a steal and dunk. But behind an unguardable opening 12 minutes from Corey Williams, Townsville kept themselves at a neck-and-neck pace with the defending champions. Williams flaunting an all-round display of ways to score as he picks off a pass and in a single bound leaps to dunk home the break. Another basket to Williams in the final seconds of the period levelled the scores 29 apiece at quarter time. Kelvin Robertson put Townsville ahead with a triple to open the second quarter before Daryl Coletto snuck his way into the lane for a 3-point play. Robertson answered for the visitors with another long bomb, but again Coletto responded, icing the deep 3 and then floating home the runner that ignited Melbourne to close the half on a 21-6 run. Close to the basket, Anstey again chimed in on his way to 16 points in the first half, before Eade would cap off the first 24 minutes with a dagger from outside the arc to push Melbourne ahead 60-47 at the intermission. A shooting expo from Anstey got the third period rolling, backing up a pair of triples with a long-range 2 as Melbourne elevated their lead to 23 points. Knifing his way through the defence and to the rim, Williams got the Crocs on track with a pair of baskets before an avalanche of threes from Townsville got them within striking distance. Hinder, Riley, Robertson and Williamson all connecting from downtown. Eade settled the ship for the Tigers, sinking the jumper before cashing in on his effort to run the lane with a throwdown. Melbourne ahead at the final break, 88-78. Townsville closed the gap to a single basket early in the final quarter, Robertson draining a long deuce, and then moments later, Brad Williamson knocking the 3 from deep in the corner. But with the game in the balance, Eade took over down the stretch for the Tigers. A tough shot from the pocket, backed up with hustle points on the offensive glass, he then went outside to connect from beyond the arc and capped off his night with a dunk on the break. Anstey sealing the win with another triple, Melbourne holding Townsville off to win 110-97.
Here with Chris Anstey after the game. Chris, After last week, that was just what the team needed to get back.
Yeah, it was. We had a really good week of practice, and it was a step in the right direction. It's not where we want to be yet. We still had flat spots during the game, and our defence fell apart a little bit at stages, but definitely a lot better than last week. And yeah, that's a team that was above us on the ladder, so it's good to win those games. We've got improvement to do, and we've got to hit the practice court like we did this week and get a little bit better again this week.
And I say you also proved to everyone tonight that you and Eade can both have big games on the same night.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, we can, but I think anyone else can too, and I hope we don't depend on that. I think we need to get everyone a little bit more involved, and sometimes we break down and that happens. So I think we need to get a little bit more from our offense and probably not as much individual stuff. And when we do that, that's when we're really tough because we get a lot more easy baskets during the game.
Thanks, Chris. Well done tonight.
Thanks, James.
Here was Leonard Copeland after the game. Leonard, Townsville, they had their chances in the fourth quarter.
They did. Townsville was a tough team. I remember playing against them. You can never count Townsville out, but it was good to see the Tigers get a win after that terrible game last week. And the Tigers have the type of team where they can bounce back like they did tonight.
A few weeks ago, Mark Bradkey put Rod Grizzard down as his MVP favourite. Grizzard's going to a bit of a slump. What's it going to take for the Grizz to bounce back?
Man, Grizz is one of those players who does a bit of everything. So because he's not scoring a lot of points like a lot of the imports, he sees the floor very well. He's 6'9", he dribbles well. So the little things is probably what the Tigers need right now. I mean, they got 5 or 6 superstars. They don't have that Ward Giddey, somebody who does everything. And right now, that's probably what Grizz is doing, and that's probably why they got to win tonight.
Okay. Thanks, Steve.
Eade leading the way for the Tigers with 32 points and 9 rebounds, while Chris Anstey was sensational with 29 points, 16 rebounds. For Townsville, their leading contributor was Corey Williams, 21 points and 7 assists.
For tonight's second game, we're going to send you out to Hisense Arena, where the South Dragons are hosting the Cairns Taipans. Currently, these teams occupy the top 2 positions on the NBL ladder.
Earlier in the week, the Cairns Taipans had their second win of the season over the New Zealand Breakers. The Taipans got the win behind Ian Croswhite, who notched up 18 of his team-high 19 points in the second half. Expect the team with the biggest X factor tonight to come away with the win. After Mark Worthington got the scoreboard ticking over, the Dragons then went to the outside, Tremel Darden finding the bottom of the net on consecutive attempts from deep before Reece Carter came in off the bench to join the party. Martin Catalini kept the Taipans in biting distance early, only for Cortez Groves to part the lane open on his way to the rim. With his feet just inside the arc, Catalini would pull Cairns within 4 points, before Groves would venture to the outside and drain the triple for the home team. A late basket to Larry Abney kept Cairns close, South leading 22-16 at the first break. 8 points to Ingles in the first 2.5 minutes of the second quarter extended the lead to 14 for the Dragons, as the home team threatened to make the game an ugly affair. But Cairns were able to hang tough, Catalini and Abney making their presence in the paint known on the offensive end. The lead cut to 12 on Catalini's baby jumper. Starring and directing in his own play, Darnell Meade gets the steal and caps it off with a layup. The Cairns deficit was cut to 9 points when Dave Thomas finished off the break. South ahead at half-time, 39-30. The third quarter belonged to the Dragons, Mark Worthington dropping the basket and collecting the foul on his way to a 3-point play, and then soon afterwards finishing off the break with another 2. Catalini was then called for an unsportsmanlike foul on Worthington, who dropped both free throws before Adam Gibson scored on the ensuing possession to make it 22 points. The recipient of a great pass from Ingles burst and flashes down the middle for the dunk, which was a prelude to a barrage of triples from the Dragons, Groves and Carter finding their shooting strokes to blow the game away. With his confidence high as it could be, Groves mixed it on the inside and came away with the basket and won, before Carter would again fire and hit from outside, the Dragons dominating to lead 76-42 after 3 periods. Continuing where he left off, Carter hit another 3 to open the fourth, before Tremel Darden took over as the Dragons continued to smash the Taipans. The lead got out to as much as 39 points for the Dragons as Darden continued to put himself in the highlight reels. South thumping Cairns to win 94-65. Burston stepped up for the Dragons with 16 points, 16 rebounds and 4 assists, while Groves and Carter both had big games off the bench.